The Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Aja Goare. President Trump still facing fallout today over alleged crude comments he made about certain immigrants. Meanwhile, lawmakers are racing to hammer out deals on the budget and immigration reform. CBS's Aja Zhang has more.
They weren't made.
President Trump is pushing back against claims he is a racist.
I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed. That I can tell you.
The president says he never used a vulgar term to describe Haiti, El Salvador, and some African nations during a meeting about immigration. And 2 Republican senators are backing him.
I'm telling you, he did not use that word.
I didn't hear that word either. I certainly didn't hear what Senator Durbin has said repeatedly.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin was also in the room when the president allegedly made the comments.
What the president said in that meeting was so awful and so impactful on so many people that when he denied saying it, I felt duty-bound to clarify what actually happened.
The president and congressional leaders appeared to be making progress last week on DACA to protect immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as minors. But this controversy has derailed negotiations.
This morning, the president tweeted, "Honestly, I don't think the Democrats want to make a deal. They talk about DACA, but they don't want to help. We are ready, willing, and able to make a deal, but they don't want to." Democrats could demand DACA protection in a budget deal to prevent the government from running out of money and potentially shutting down. Some are going a step further.
I, for one, will not vote for government funding until we get a deal on DACA.
The deadline to reach a budget deal is Friday. Aja Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
A CBS News poll shows 70% of Americans support allowing dreamers to stay in the country. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is remembered today for his work as a civil rights leader and a champion of America's poor. Dr. King would have turned 89 years old today. The Baptist minister dedicated his life to work for peace, social justice, and opportunity for all Americans. Marches are being held across the country in his honor and in furtherance of his message. The victim of a deadly shooting in Sheridan, Wyoming last week is identified today. Sheridan police say 47-year-old Eric Kaler was killed in his apartment. The suspect, Christopher Labai, has yet to make his initial court appearance on 1 count of first-degree murder. Police received a phone call late Wednesday from a man who said Labai knocked on the door and claimed he shot someone. Officers responded to the apartment at 1410 North Main Street to find Kaler dead from a gunshot wound. It's unclear what led to the shooting. A Bridger woman is dead following a head-on crash in Rockville on Sunday. 56-year-old Jody Church died in the crash on U.S. Highway 310. The Montana Highway Patrol reports a 35-year-old Bridger man was driving the Toyota that drifted across the center line and struck the victim's vehicle. A man in the vehicle with Church was injured and transported to the hospital. All 3 people involved were wearing their seatbelts. MHP says alcohol and drugs are suspected factors in the crash. And a Miles City woman also lost her life Saturday in a crash east of Forsyth. MHP reports the 31-year-old victim was westbound on Interstate 94 when another vehicle in front of her lost control and veered off the roadway. The woman slowed to avoid that vehicle and was then rear-ended by the Jeep following behind. The collision caused the woman, who was not wearing a seatbelt, to be ejected and killed. 2 passengers were also injured. The victim's name has not been released. The Blaine County Sheriff's Office says alcohol may have played a role in the death of a 17-year-old boy. Jeremy Tincher was found dead in a field along Highway 2 south of Harlem Thursday morning. He was last seen walking along the road the night before. At the time, the temperature was below 0, and the sheriff's office says Tincher died of hypothermia. Tincher's death marks the 4th weather-related fatality in Montana this season. The Gallant National Forest Avalanche Center asking recreators to avoid travel on and below all steep slopes in the mountains near West Yellowstone. 2 snowmobiles triggered slides in the Lionhead area last night. Dangerous avalanche conditions exist in the Lionhead area near West Yellowstone. Sunday's rating in the southern Gallatin and southern Madison ranges is considerable for new avalanches along within the Bridger Range. All other ranges are rated as moderate. The American Civil Liberties Union of Montana suing the Bozeman Walmart over an alleged racist incident involving a man who renewed his fishing license. That complaint is filed on behalf of Dr. Gilbert Caland, a black Montana State University professor. An ACLU press release states Caland renewed his fishing license at Walmart and found the employee had typed "clean toilets" as Caland's profession on the license. Caland returned seeking a new license and an apology, but he says the employee refused to say sorry. The ACLU says Walmart has since apologized, calling the incident unacceptable. State leaders hope a new effort called the First Years Initiative will help reduce child abuse and neglect deaths in Montana. The program will provide new resources for families starting before a child is born through the first few years of life. The initiative, created by the Department of Health and Human Services, includes 3 separate projects. The first, 5 home visitors who will work specifically with families involved with child and family services. Leaders say they base the projects on recent studies into child deaths. And as part of the First Years Initiative, DPHHS will work together with a newly formed state commission that will review child abuse and neglect cases. Still to come on the Noon News, a gunman opens fire on a California highway. We'll bring you the details from the scene. But first, Ed has our weather forecast. Stick with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the